Hey there guys, thanks for joining us on another battle report with the Battle Night guys. Today I have with me is Molo and we're playing Bolt Action from Warlord Games. Well, we're doing a little interesting thing here because obviously we play a lot of games and we have only minimal forces for various things. So today we're playing My Americans versus Molos Japanese. So that would seem thematically correct, except I'm using a European Yankee army, so they would have never met the Japanese. But that doesn't matter, we're just going to have fun anyway. And we're playing the maximum attrition scenario on a sort of a farming rural area. Is that right?
Hence the cows?
Yeah, the cows, yep. So, and we're playing 750 points. And we haven't played for a while, have we? I think last time I played you at Bolt Action was in the escalation campaign.
And I believe I won.
Yeah, really cheeky.
I'm sure it'll be exactly the same again. You'll kill all my guys and I'll win at the end.
Well, this is the maximum attrition scenario.
Oh
so
yeah, that might not work out.
Alright, cool. So we'll show you the board and then we'll show you the forces and then we'll get started with turn 1. Okay, so first of all, I'll give you a look at the board. As I said, I'm playing maximum attrition. So we've got a little, on the right flank down there, we've got a little bit of a woodland scenic area. Over here with the roads. I've got to get more terrain really for all the various games I play. I picked up some of these awesome flocked based roads from Small Terrain, and then those are some of the crappy ones I made like 10 years ago. So I need to get some more so I can replace them. I need to get some more trees. I need to make some more fields, things like that, some more hedges. So I need quite a few more things. But as you can see, this is the general of the board. So you've got a little bit of a farmstead with some natural terrain spread around. And then there's Molo's army inside the farm at the moment, which we'll go over in a minute. So first we'll do mine. So I got 750 points. I'm rocking an LT with a buddy, a sniper team, and then artillery observer. Everything's regular except my Rangers first platoon and a veteran squad up there. Everything else is regular. Got a mortar team, heavy machine gun team, and then 1 and 2 squads of just basic riflemen. So that's my 750 points. There's bar gunners and everything. This is the veterans, the Rangers, and then these are the veterans. I just modeled them with a lot of Thompsons as well, and bar gunners just to make them look the part. So that's my 750. Let's go to Molos.
Okay, so here are my fellas then. Let's see. We've got the, I think, second lieutenant. Nice little sniper team. A large mixed weapon squad. A completely wasted suicide anti-tank guy. Another completely wasted suicide anti-tank guy. Another large mixed weapon squad. Little tankette. Some sort of gun. And another gun. Oh, and some Pokemon. There we are.
Okay, so this is the end of round 1. We had a few units that started on the board. I had my air observers over there, so they got a good view of the farmstead and any units coming through the road area. I had my sniper team move into the cornfield, so have a similar view, but also cover from the cornfield. And Molo took the one and only Japanese piece of terrain I had on the board and put his sniper team in it.
All of Japan is an aquarium after all.
So the dice came out pretty evenly. I had the first dice, I think, which I used as my Rangers. They used their Rangers lead the way special ability to move up through the cornfield. Then Molo brought out his tractor pulled. We just don't have the model for the tractor, but that has been pulled onto the board over there. Then I had some veterans move on to here. Maybe try and flush out his sniper, which went on ambush for his dice. He put a pin marker on them, and then in my turn, my sniper returned fire and put a pin marker on him.
Yeah, you missed.
Yeah, there's a pin marker there. I hit 3 plus.
I got
My air observer put to the target, Mala, over there. Put a air observer marker over there, and that's about it that came through. Oh yeah, Mola's got his heavy machine gun team that moved over there, and I had my commander that moved over there. So that's how the first waves came out. So this opening salvos, and now we go on to turn 2, where the rest of our stuff has to come on. I got my things, Mola's got his things. He's also got a unit in ambush which is his what is it? The
Suicide anti-tank.
there we go. Yeah. Okay, so let's go to turn 2. Okay, so round 2 is what happened was first aircraft came in, took a shot at that infantry squad down there, killed 5 of them, put 2 pin markers on them. That was awesome. They don't have to take a morale test because they're the Japanese and they're not scared of anything. Then after that, the first dice that came out was one of mine, which I used as my sniper team. Fired onto Molos sniper team and took them out. Brilliant. 6 to hit, 6 to wound. First point in the bag. Right, then it came out sort of back and forth. Dice coming out evenly. The howitzer down there fired across into my rangers. Killed one and put 2 pin markers onto the squad. Then in my turn, I fired with them. In fact, I took an order with them and fired onto heavy machine gun team, put a pin marker on there. The heavy machine gun team fired onto my spotter, put a pin marker on him. But in the later turns, when the dice came out, I took an order test for them. They were fine, and they put the second fire order onto that same infantry squad. And then a couple of squads moved on. The squads moved on to the flank here. Molo's got a same sort of flanking squad over there. I moved my mortar team over there. My heavy machine gun team over there. My veteran squad over here passed their order test and advanced up on the flank a bit more, especially considering there's nothing on the flank out here. My officer team just went down because they didn't really have much to do. John's officer team went into the bog. And his tankette failed to come in, as one of my infantry squads did, and his flanking force is still somewhere moving through the jungle, foresty areas.
2-man super flanker.
Yeah. So, scores 1-0 at the end of turn 2. I've lost one of my rangers. Molo's lost half his infantry squad down there, and his sniper team down there. Let's go to turn 3. Okay, so this is the top of turn 3, or bottom, where we finished our turn. My second free air observer came in and fired onto the rest of those guys. Another 5 or 6 of them died, and they took another 3 pins. So those guys are down to, is it 2 guys left, Milo?
3 guys.
3 guys left with 6 pins. And the officer who was in the block down there decided, you know what, they're not worth saving anymore. So he ran up to this building instead. The HMG took a fire from my HMG, but he passed his order and he fired on these guys, and also the howitzer fired on them from down there. So combined fire, and with the tankette moving in and coming on his turn, 3 more pins added to this squad and 1 more casualty. So I thought, well, I got off lightly there, you know, not too bad. My sniper team fired on the officer in the building. These guys just advanced up because there's nothing on this flank. Mortar fired onto those guys at the back there that have been already taking damage. Officer just went down because he's supporting the rangers over here. I tried to rally the rangers, but I failed by 1, so they went down. As I said, my HMG fired onto the HMG. The tankette wasn't there when I did fire, so now next turn that'll be the priority target. But this flank is where the interesting stuff happened. Molo, last dice activation, moved over there after I moved these guys up, and fired on them and got a direct hit with the light mortar. The machine gun took down 2 guys, and a rifleman took down another guy with an exceptional damage, killing my NCO. So the exceptional damage killed my NCO, and 3 more guys have died. They've taken their pin marker, and that was that squad. So I moved this squad on to support, and I'm doing a bit of a kamikaze thing here, which is ironic considering I'm playing the Japs. These guys have moved up to the house. So I'm basically trying to put as much support as I can to get rid of that squad over there. And then of course I've got the howitzer to worry about as well. And this tankette, which I don't have a lot that can actually hurt it. But at the end of the turn 3, it's still 1-0 to me. How do you feel it's going, Molo?
Yeah, I am concerned. I'm sure it'll all be washed away and I'll win easily in a moment.
I'm looking for revenge here because you suckered me out of a victory in the escalation campaign.
You just weren't quick enough.
I've not heard that before. Alright, turn 4 coming up. Okay boys, this is the end of turn 4, and it was quite a brutal turn for some. I got the first 3 dice out, which I was really excited about because I had a lot of options. Unfortunately, none of them paid off. I was excited because I could fire my mortar on a 5+ onto those infantry that are there now, which I missed. I was then excited because I could fire my heavy machine gun team against the little tankette thing. Molo decided to do a recce move and move backwards. Unfortunately, he couldn't move out of my the distance that I can shoot. But I rolled 333, which almost anyway. So another deflation right there. Then I got my second attack dice out, and I went with these guys over here, firing onto the Japanese infantry that were behind the trees over there. And I killed one guy and put a pin marker on them. And then Molo got out a few of his things. What did you do, Molo?
I think the first thing I did was those guys and fired in onto...
Yep, so these guys advanced up, and then fired into these guys that were behind Jay in cover, and absolutely brutalized them. He got 7 hits through, 5 wounds, and those 5 guys on the outside, they all died. There was one guy left in there, and towards the end of the turn, Molo got his outflanking guy to come running on from the edge there and kill him in combat. Just ran up to him, 4 blast, dead. It's like, ah. So that got Molo a point. So it's 1-1 at the moment.
It's going to cost me a point though, because that guy's on his own.
Yeah. From my perspective, the remaining stuff I did was these guys moved up into the trees, fired onto them, put the pin marker back on them, and killed one guy. These guys did nothing, obviously, because they got murdered. This guy, I told you, fired, missed. These guys tried to rally and failed, went down. The officers moved into the cornfield, had a quick shot at them, missed. I told you about the mortar missed. The sniper fired against the officer in the building. I'm determined to kill this officer because it's him that lost me the game the last time I played Molo. So he's on my hit list. Unfortunately, I missed. And then these veterans that were on the flank here moved across into the road, fired onto these guys. And I'll tell you what happened with these guys. These guys have used the Banzai rule to charge towards the nearest infantry unit, and then it counts as having them roll the double 1 on the order test.
Well, specifically, they ran because you weren't close enough to get into combat.
That's exactly, yeah. So they ran forward, and they got to there, and then in my turn, I moved across the road and killed 2 more of them and put their pin marker back on.
1 more.
Oh, 1 more. And then that heavy machine gun team fired across onto here. Molo trying to put some pins on them, and he missed. The howitzer down there fired onto my heavy machine gun team and missed. And I think that was it.
Yeah, that's pretty much the show.
The officers in there fired onto these 2 guys and missed as well. But the main attack came from here. So infantry supporting up, brutalized them, guy ran to the board, knocked him out. And that was it. So that is the end of turn 4. We go into turn 5. This is a 6-turn game with a random length on the 7th turn. It might go or might not go. So we'll see how it goes. It's in the pool at the moment, 1-1. How you feeling, Molo?
Well, more confident now I have a point, but it's gonna go. It's fine. I'm gonna win.
Fair enough. Okay, so this was the end of turn 5, and it was another topsy-turvy turn. What happened was I got the first thing out, and I was trying to do as much damage as I can to these Japanese infantry squad over here. So I fired with my infantry squad, and yes, they are all dead. I'll get to that in a second. I fired on them first, put a pin marker on them and killed 1 or 2. These guys, really sharpshooters over here, fired onto them as well, killed another 1 or 2. And then my heavy machine gun team fired from the top of the hill. So all in all, I put 3 more pin markers on them. So they had 4 pin markers, and 4 more of their squad died. Unfortunately, due to the Banzai charge rule, they don't have to take a morale test to do the order. They just have to charge the nearest unit. So they charged in forward, obliterating 5 of my GIs in this little dung blown up crater thing. And in response, I only killed 2. So as Bolt Action is a very brutal close combat game, the rest of my squad fled, died, surrendered, whatever have you. So that was Molo's second point in the bag. That put me under a little bit of pressure. So my response was to kick some puppies. I moved my veterans over here, fired onto the squad, which only managed to kill 1 and put another pin marker on them. And then, of course, Molo did a Banzai charge into them, killing 1 of the guys as he charged in. And then I killed him in return to get my second point. But then his officer fired out of the building, killed another 1 of those members of the veterans over there. So there's only 4 of them left now. They got a pin marker. My sniper failed to kill the lone suicide bomber guy on his own, which I missed. The heavy machine gun team over there fired onto these guys and exceptionally wounded the air observer. And then my central objectives, or central dudes over here, the Rangers failed to rally again, so they went down again. My officer fired on the building and put a pin marker on them. My mortar fired on the howitzer down there, who in return fired against the Rangers, and I almost hit. So that, I think, is everything that's happened. The tankette moved up and fired on these guys, was it?
Yes, yeah.
But no, there was no hits, so nothing happened there. So that is the end of turn 5. We're locked at 2-2, and we got one more turn, and then we have to roll to see if the game will end or continue for another turn. So this is in the balance, man. Who do you think's got this?
Well, obviously I have.
I'm really concerned about these stupid banzai charges. I can't seem to stop them. And obviously my central Rangers unit is not helping out. So I'm hoping I can maybe take out the officers and maybe the howitzer. That'll get me 2 points. And then you'll probably take out something over here. My heavy machine gun team or my slight air observer team over there. So this game could end in a draw, man.
Well, unless it goes on till turn 7.
That's true. Then I'm going to win.
We'll have the advantage then.
Alright, let's see what turn 6 brings.
Running to hit and then running to wound with this.
Oh, you've been rolling to wound? Oh, right.
Okay, so this is the end of turn 6. And it is in big trouble for the Americans. So first dice came out was my machine gun team. It fired down the hill, took out 2 of these guys and put a pin marker on them. Molo was unsure if he was within 12 inches or not to do his banzai charge. So instead, he decided to try and shoot them, failed his order test, and they went down. Down here, the suicide crazy Japanese samurai warrior dude ran over here and just smashed this guy in the face with that big pole and killed him. So they got Molo a 3rd point. But more to the point, my mortar on a 5+ missed the howitzer at the back there. Instead, the howitzer fired onto the Rangers after picking them off one by one all game. This time took out the whole squad. He actually killed 2 of them, and then they failed their morale with a -4 on their pin markers, and the rest ran away, died, whatever. So that puts Molo to 4 points. Did I get any more points? Oh, we'll see. Tankette moved over there, fired onto them. I got a little nervous, so I went down with those guys. As it turned out, he didn't get any hits through, except, well, he got 1 hit through, but no wounds. My sniper fired into the cabin where the officer and his trusty aide is. The aide stuck his head out the window and got it shot off.
Oh, hold on. One thing. You did shoot me with the sniper, which means you can choose to take out the lieutenant rather than the aide.
Oh, right.
So do you want to do that?
Yeah, fine.
Alright.
What happened then? My rifle, lieutenant and his rifle fired onto the same building, just put a pin marker on them. So they got 3 pin markers, and then their turn, they tried to fire it down there and went down because they failed their order test. Machine gun fired onto here, missed. And I think that is all the orders that happened this turn. So the scores on the doors are 4 points to Japan, 2 points to America. That's the end of turn 6. So Tony's going to roll for us. He's going to roll right there. On a 1, 2, or 3, something happens. And 4, 5, or 6. That's a 1. I think the game ends.
Oh, I hope so.
Although I double check quickly. So that is a 1. The game has ended. And Japan have taken the table. Well done, man. 2nd victory in a row.
Indeed.
3rd time lucky for me. Wow. That was a really tough, interesting game. I think what it really pulled it out for you was that banzai rule.
Yeah.
Because that squad over there just basically... actually, first of all, the first shooting phase they did onto the squad you're behind the building.
Oh, they did a tremendous amount of
Yeah, unbelievable. This squad is definitely man of the match now that I think about it. I think they got you 3 points, didn't they?
In fairness, your aerial attack
Yeah.
wiped out that other squad, essentially.
I mean, I was hoping to take them out with just that one squad, with that one first barrage, but it didn't work out that way. And then this squad was obviously taken out of the game, essentially, by having to run across the field because you didn't deploy anything on this side.
Nope.
Which was interesting. Good move that by you as well. I was really disappointed in my Rangers as well. You know, the whole game they just couldn't rally. They were just scared shitless by the constant bombardment by the howitzer. But no, these guys were brutal. I mean, that charge onto a full strength infantry squad. Even after I put so many pins on them and took out half the squad, they still just went in there and butchered me.
It's a really handy rule, though, because they constantly fight the Japanese. it is very risky. You can leave your regiments completely destroyed just from one attack if it doesn't go right for you.
Yeah.
Although I guess combat's fairly brutal anyway.
Well, this guy did pretty well as well. Came on, took out that last guy over there, then ran around the corner, took out this guy.
Oh yeah, he has been killing folks.
But no, that was good. Any thoughts from you?
I always like Bolt Action. It's a nice, sort of simple, very fast, sort of ranged shooting game. Really, Bolt Action's great. Okay.
How about you from a neutral perspective, Tony?
Yeah, interesting game, as I say. It was all over here, really.
That's just-
One large squad took out one of your squads there with shooting, and then Bonsai charged that squad.
It just basically capitulated my flank, didn't it?
But they were on the edge of going, because they were Bonsai back to Bonsai
seventh
charge
turn,
with a
I
heavy
might
machine
well
gun.
have been
Well, hopefully, if it went to a 7th turn, I was hoping that I can get the
Taking
dice,
them, yeah.
take them out. Because if I took them out and possibly the officer squad, or maybe that single guy there, there's 3 points on offer there for another turn. Whereas obviously on Molo's front, his chances of scoring points were a little more thinner on the ground.
No, you had a lot of cover guys for smaller squads. This is still a decent size for
Yeah.
that squad. And
So-
I couldn't hit that thing at all.
So actually, it turned out really well for you that the game ended in that
Indeed
turn.
it did. Okay.
Well, there you go. Thanks for watching, guys. We really enjoyed that, and we'll be back in the future with some more Bolt Action games. But now we're going to go play some other games.